I go up to him. I was just like, I think I should like. I don't want to be here anymore. Like. And he was like, "Oh, you could just go home." I was like, "No, that's not what I mean. I don't want to be here anymore." And so after I told him that, he just kind of hugged me, and then he was like, "Are you feeling okay?" I was like, and this is when I started to express myself.
You know. So is this like your favorite, your home world? What do you like about it?
I mean, right now, I mean, I enjoy it. It's pretty big. It's plenty to do. I'm sure. I mean, not really plenty. I mean, there's a little court. There's chairs over there. And then you have the street over here.
Oh dang, this is like a whole little city going on here.
Yeah. And then you just go down this way. It's like a beach side.
Ooh.
I enjoy it. I like it.
You
Keep
typically
following.
like beach sides or like ocean scenery?
Yeah, actually, like I live by the coast, so I mean, like things like that,
Alright,
tend to
wait,
like make me feel happy.
so when you say coast, are you over in Cali or Carolina
Nah,
or
nah, like like golf, like I mean, like yeah, it's more of a nostalgic feeling because like when my parents were when I was younger, I would always go there with my parents every
so
chance
you
we
say
got. Really,
the Gulf?
yeah, Mexico,
Gulf of
like
Mexico.
that
Okay.
coastline right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
wait, are you in Mexico?
no, 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 no. I'm a little bit north, bro. I'm from the States.
Okay, I was about to say. So wait, so the beach is down here?
It's right here. And I like
Ooh,
being like right here. So
you got a nice pier. What's that over there?
I think it's like a little boat or I don't truly know. I don't actually know the name of it. We can go there.
It's like
It's
a
not
little,
like
which
deep.
reminds me of raft.
Yeah, it definitely is a raft.
Oh shit, this is pretty neat.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, this is perfect because you got the ocean view, you got the town, uh, giant crystals over there. What would you like to be called, right? So you don't have to give your full name, but like
Um
how would people what would they call you?
you just call me Dave. Dave is cool.
Dave. Oh man, it's
Dave,
like
like DAVE. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Very common if you think about it, so
Well, it just makes me think of a couple funny videos. Oh, Dave, not the salad.
Dave, I want your salad. I love you.
Dave.
Nah, you get that, dude.
Yeah. So you don't have to give your exact age if you don't want to, but just a rough age range of how old you are and then where you from.
We'll just say I'm in my 20s,
Okay.
if that makes you feel better.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a good range.
Yeah, I'm in the U.S. I mean, kind of gave you already where I'm from. I'm from Texas,
Okay.
so it's not too hard to put those together.
Were you born in Texas, or is that just where you live now?
I was born north of Texas. Yeah,
What languages do you speak?
I speak English and Spanish,
In
and
both?
currently I'm learning Japanese.
Okay. So I take it English, Spanish are pretty fluent, and you're beginner in
Yeah.
Japanese. Yeah.
Very
Alright.
beginner. I'm like 2 weeks in.
Okay. So I'm sorry to do this to you, but I'm going to ask you a very difficult and controversial question. What's your favorite
ahead.
color?
Dang, that got me. Well, I'm torn actually. So my favorite colors, it's black, and occasionally it's blue.
Oh yeah,
But sometimes
another
it jumps
blue
around.
gang. But I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
also
like
said
blue.
black. So I don't know how
Yeah,
loyal you
but
are.
I mean, I like yellow too. I like all the colors, like they're all. It just depends on like what I'm feeling.
Okay.
I guess
Wait,
it just like depends on the wardrobe too. If we're thinking
Well,
about that as well.
yeah, that makes sense. Kind of changing based on the mood. Okay. So the actual slap your face question is,
Go
what
ahead.
brings you to be your best self? What brings you to be your best you?
Bring me to be my best person. I guess experience. You know, like everything I like experienced in life. You know, I just want to like or seen happen in life. I guess it just kind of makes me want to be a better person to some degree. Doesn't always have to mean I have to be like the greatest person in the world. It just have to be like my best me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because like at that point there's like no pressure. You know, it's just like I only like you know put expectations on myself versus what anyone puts on me because I know my own limits and such.
Yeah, I really like how you mentioned letting go of that like harsh expectation of trying to live up to be someone else, because you never know what they've been through, what their brain is like, what skills they have. They're working with a whole different set of cards, and you got to work with what you have and taking it,
Exactly.
just being a little bit better one day at a time. Like I really like that perspective.
Because like it's the way I see it, it's just not a race. It's just
Oh, life's a
know,
race,
it's-
Like we gotta get over there. Like now, like actually like 5 minutes ago we're late.
Yeah.
Start paddling.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we gotta go right. Exactly. But no, it's just like I've seen like so many people like I don't know, just kind of like pressure themselves and they get burnt out so early.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like if you want to get there faster than what you want to be, I guess like let's talk about careers because people are really stressed about careers.
Before we jump into this, I just got one last question, and then it's all yours for anything that you want to talk about, and that is, how truthful are you with yourself? Scale of 0 to 10. 0 being I lie to myself all the damn time. 10 being I never lie to myself.
Oh, that's very black and white because like I like being gray because like I lie to myself to like push myself, in terms of like fear.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's just like I have to tell myself the truth, so that way, like I can understand when the situation I'm in too.
Yeah,
So it's very gray. So I guess I would have to go with 6.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's dude. Yeah,
Because
you're
like,
good. Oh,
I'm sorry, go. Ah, okay. No, it's no, it's just that like, like life isn't black and white. Like, it's very gray. I mean, we all have to like lie to ourselves to like do certain things, as well as tell ourselves the truth, to get through things as well. And I think it's just about being, I guess a better person in some degree. I mean, as long as like you're not hurting anyone to a degree of like, like emotionally or physically, of course. It's just, I think it's okay to sometimes lie to yourself.
Yeah, no,
in terms of overcoming child obstacles.
Yeah, I really like that perspective because the intent of that question is to sort of see what people think about like how they sort of look at life, because some people, they might want to distract themselves, so they'll lie to themselves and be like, oh yeah, everything's fine, everything's on fire, this is fine, but in actuality like their whole life is burning down. But you bringing up that it may actually be beneficial to sort of lie to yourself to pursue more growth and also to get through difficult times. So it's not necessarily, as you said, black or white. There's definitely gray in how you choose to confront the truth, but also give yourself a break and kind of lie to yourself a little bit. So with that being said, you have the floor.
Like the thing I was interested in talking about was like death, so that's why I'm asking right now.
Yeah.
If
so,
that is okay.
Yeah, no, that's
because
okay. Go for it.
A lot of it does involve like, not a lot of it, but like a few cases.
No, you're all good, and we'll use some editing magic if we have to.
I just put some, I don't know,
disclaimer
stuff. I don't know. disclaimer. Yeah, yeah, exactly. This is a very disclaimer right here. So I mean, I guess I'll talk about it. Early childhood, not early childhood, but I guess like when I was like adolescent, like very early stages. And we're talking like, oh yeah, 12 probably.
Okay.
It's been a while. So yeah, I was 12. I was like in 6th grade. So yeah, I mean, I'm in the 6th grade. You know, like I'm just not used to talking about my emotions and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, me being young, of course. You know, I just never really grew up in a family like that. You know, like it's not like they like force themselves to like not talk about their feelings. It's just like we never really had a reason to.
Mm.
But no, it was like around the time when my cousin had a accident, and it resulted in his passing.
Mm-hmm.
He, like it kind of like took a toll on me because like I mean I might have said some like I remember saying some stuff to him, that I never got to apologize for.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I mean it definitely hit me.
So kind of
Um,
hearing like you had some unfinished business,
e- to a degree, yeah. I mean, like I was a child, like I said some stuff and I didn't expect him to like pass.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I was young, right? Like like I think like it took a harder hit on me because it was the first time I ever experienced something like that. Like a relative that I was roughly close with passed away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, harder
So
at
I
that.
mean,
Yeah, sorry. I was just gonna say harder at that age because you wake up each day just sort of having this expectation that everything is gonna be there exactly as you expected, and then all of a sudden
exactly.
you get an early slap in life saying no. Everything could be
Yeah,
gone in just a second.
yeah, he was exactly like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was going to the junior high, 7th grade, um, I I was kind of shook by it still. I mean, like it wasn't like I was depressed at the time. I mean, I might have been. I didn't know,
Mm-hmm.
but I was very quiet. I wasn't like extremely quiet, but it was just like, dang, like I have these emotions bottled up. Like, how do I express them? And I
Mm-hmm.
never really did. But I did make a few friends that year. One of them in particular, I do remember. We'll call. Oh, let's leave the name out of it. But they were really cool. I enjoyed their company, of course. They were friends. Um, we we would make jokes, of course. Just he would ride in front of the bus, I would ride behind him, and this is when I realized that like he was sick, and I asked him, "Is he doing okay?" And he said, "No, not doing too well. I have to go to the hospital." And his brother actually told me that he actually had cancer. Like he
Ooh.
survived it already. Like it was definitely hard to understand what it was, but yeah, that summer he actually passed away.
Were you
And
there
so
for
that
it?
was like, no, I didn't know till like it did happen. Like it's just,
So like you just heard from a friend just one day, like, yo, yeah,
yeah, well, his brother.
okay. He just said, yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so to add like more to the bottle, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really know how to like talk about it. I mean, going to 8th grade year, I just kind of like I didn't express anything. I kept going as nothing really bothered me, of course. And it was weird because like around that time too, I was walking around the neighborhood. He lived in my neighborhood, of course. I was with my mom, because we decided to go on a walk. Just get some air, work out. Get some exercise, I guess.
Yeah.
Was her thought. Because I was always like a indoor kid, just always inside.
Mm-hmm.
But she we passed by their house, and I was like, oh, my friend used to live there. And then she said, oh, what happened to them? And this is when I said, oh, they passed away. And she kind of stopped for a moment, she was just like, what do you mean passed away? I was like, they're not here anymore. And that was the first time I've ever mentioned anything to anyone like that.
Mm.
Like, to like my parents, of course. And I mean, she didn't know how to take it, obviously, and I don't blame her, because like, no, I guess she just didn't expect me to like feel these emotions.
So,
But
well, because you had said that you thought that she didn't expect you to like have those feelings. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, she
so like, like I guess like with her, like I guess I never really talked about my feelings. It was just like, happy or just just upset or things like that. Not upset, like more like angry.
Mm.
She didn't expect me to be like sad.
So you had like two dials, you're either happy or you're mad.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, well, in her eyes, of course. Yeah, but like I said, I never really expressed myself. And I guess that was the issue right there, right? I never expressed like how I feel, and like being my age now, I feel like that was definitely the problem I had, back then, is not being able. Even now, I mean, like, I still struggle to express myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like like I have like trouble finding the words. It's more like how much of the lid I want to open up. I guess is what it feels like.
So expressing yourself
And that's
on an oh sorry.
no, I was gonna say that's probably my issue. Is just that like I struggle to like express myself.
On
Just
an emotional level.
yeah, emotionally, of course. I mean, I don't. It might be a bad thing. It might not be, but that's just how I am, and I think it's okay sometimes. Sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, of course, people are different, right?
Yeah.
Someone might think, "Oh, that's unhealthy." Someone might say, "Oh, it's whatever." I mean, I feel like I'm in between, and I'm okay with being in the gray area.
So what is?
Because I do.
I was just gonna say, in your definition, what is expressing yourself? Like what's the criteria or the qualities? Like, what does it look like?
I guess it's just like I might feel like I might like cause trouble for people if I express myself. I think that's the problem I have.
Mm.
Like I feel like not talking about my problems or just anything as such would probably benefit more people, but I feel like that's an unhealthy way of thinking, honestly, because
Yeah, because you kind of beat yourself up
because
inside.
you're hurting yourself, and at the time I didn't really realize that.
Mm-hmm. And I might
But,
even be
that's
as bold to say that you expressing yourself might be exactly what some people need. They might need to hear, how you really feel and what you're thinking.
yeah. I mean, if it helps someone, right?
Mm-hmm. So
But going back to the that one part about stopping, yeah, I just mildly expressed like so I guess some emotions right there, and we just went back home. And she might have, I think she did mention it to my dad. She was like, hey, did you know that he told me this? And then my dad's like, oh, that guy, I mean, my dad was like, he didn't really care. I mean, he did care to a certain degree. He was just like, I'm always busy with work, and I mean, being like growing up in a family like that, like I can understand, like we didn't have much, and that's all right. I mean, even now, I mean, I understand too. I mean,
when you say
but we had enough.
You didn't have much, but you had enough.
Yeah, like financially.
Paint us the picture of like what that kind of looks like. What?
two parents working while the oldest child took care of the family.
Mm. So you kind of shouldered a lot of
Yeah, and
responsibility.
Not me. I was a middle child, but it was actually my older sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She was actually the closest thing. I mean, I wouldn't deny my mom the title of being a mom, of course. You know, because she's my mother. She gave birth to me, and I love her, of course.
Mhm.
But my older sister was the one who raised us as well. You know, she shares just as much as the credit as well.
Mm. So are you close with your sister
But-
still?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I talk to her. Like, even when I feel down, like, I ask her, you know, for advice and things like that.
Mm. That's really nice
But-
to hear.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure, like, other people don't have healthy relationships with their siblings or, you know, families in that matter.
Mm.
And I can't speak for them, you know, right? Because, like, everyone is a different situation. That's just mine. I guess I was old enough to understand, you know, why they did it, you know, why they were working so much. But, you know, just sometimes I wish they were there sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
But, I mean, being in my 20s, like, I understand now.
Mhm.
And it wasn't ignorance that I was feeling. It was just I wanted to be, you know, I wanted more time with them.
Sounds like, you just wanted to, get some love, to spend some, quality
Yeah.
time with them.
Yeah, I feel like that's what it definitely was.
Mhm. Oh,
But where was I? Yeah. So yeah, she told my dad. My dad didn't really pay much to it and just kind of left it as is. And we're going into,
damn it.
I guess, the start of my high school career
Okay.
at the time. And so freshman year of high school, you know, it was pretty easy. You know, it was just like emotionally speaking and mentally, like I made friends. I had, you know, a support group. You know, I had people to talk to and things like that. You know, I started coming out of my shell to some degree.
Mhm.
You know, I was there. I was, you know, talking to my friends and such. And I guess like towards summer school, because you know I wasn't the brightest kid, and I mean I was fairly bright. I was taking honor classes, but it was just I gooped, thinking yeah I could pass this one class, and I couldn't, so I gooped that one. So I had to go to summer school, and that's when everything started to get worse. And that might have been because, like, you know, puberty or something, you know, hormones getting higher. And people don't like hearing that, but that does happen.
Mhm.
You know, hormones does affect your mental state. And being, you know, in a bad, you know, case like that, it kind of like, you know, it blew up. You know, like the lid just kind of like, chew. Like you think of it like, you know, you shake up a bottle can and then just like pop it open. That's pretty much how it was.
I like to use the tea kettle with too much steam, and then it goes.
Yeah, I mean that's also another good analogy. But
So,
that's
see-
just
too much steam bottled up.
yeah, it was definitely like too much. And to add to like, you know, being in a different environment, it kind of just got worse. And so, being being young, I was at work with my dad because you know summer jobs, and he got me a job with him for a bit, and so I was working with him, and it got pretty bad. You know, it just I was just kind of like by myself, and I told him, "Hey, can I talk to you for a moment?" Because you know I told him I wasn't feeling so good, so. And he was like, "All right, just take a breather," and I did. I stepped outside, and then I started to feel, you know, weird. Like I was just like I was worrying about like one thing, and then next thing I started worrying about the other, and it led me to have an anxiety attack, and which I thought was actually a heart attack. I was like, oh, I couldn't feel anything, but that was just me going completely numb. You know, it was just like adrenaline kicking in. I could not feel anything, and I was like, oh god, I can't feel my heartbeat, you know? And it made it worse. And so I kind of put the whole place in a panic, which thinking now it was kind of funny, but at the same time, it was just like, yeesh, you know, because like everyone's like worried. But I kind of put everything on hold for a bit. You're like, oh, whoa, this guy, you know, panicking, you know, heart attack, quote unquote. But, and then there was actually someone there who was actually a medical student who's, they were studying the heart. I forgot what the actual term, but.
Cardiology.
And yeah, that's what it was. So they told me, you know, that I'm fine. I just need to relax. I started relaxing. I started feeling better. They brought me water, and I'm right here sitting in the office just breathing. You know, and that's when I realized I caused a lot of trouble to people. And this is when I started getting disclaimer, right? Okay. And this is when I started to feel depressed.
So okay, so
yeah, disclaimer. I
disclaimer.
For you, don't
disclaimer.
worry.
Okay.
Yeah, disclaimer, of course.
Okay,
But,
so after you sort of did you fall on the floor, or is it sort of like you just kind of like kneeled down, or like how did that happen? You know.
No, I was it was definitely like, you know, like cramping up. Yeah, I was just like, you know, like go into like fetal, but like I kind of like held onto the ledge because there was like a ledge that was next to on my right side. I held onto my ledge and I grabbed my chest. I was like, you know, it started like feeling around. And I'm right here thinking, oh, you know, it might be just, you know, it might be just a heart attack. You know, I can't feel my pulse or anything, right? But being young, like, how would I have known, right? The aftermath of it was just me starting to feel like I was causing a lot of trouble for people, you know?
So expressing yourself caused a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is when I started going down the, you know, path, you know, darker path in terms of like depression. But it definitely got worse after that. I wasn't sleeping at all. I could not sleep to save my life. Like, it was just, I tried. And so one day, like, I was going back to work. I told my dad, hey, can I talk to you for a moment? Because this is when the darker thoughts started coming in. When I say darker thoughts, you know, I mean, we're going down that path.
Yeah.
I go up to him and I was just like, I think I should, like, I don't want to be here anymore, you know? Like, and he was like, oh, you could just go home. I was like, no, that's not what I mean. I don't want to be here anymore. And so after I told him that, he just kind of hugged me and he was like, and he just walked me to the store that was nearby. And he just got me a drink. I mean, not like, you know, he got me water or soda. I forgot what it was. Might have been soda. It was carbonated. And then he was like, are you feeling okay? I was like, and this is when I started to express myself. I was like, I don't think so. I don't think I'm okay. And this is the first time I started to like truly talk about how I felt. I was like, I haven't been feeling good for a while. From here, like, he told me like we can go get you help, and I told him, yeah, I actually would like that. Because I was just tired of feeling like this, you know? Like, it's just, I'm tired of feeling sad. I'm tired of feeling anxious. I just want to get rid of it. And I'm sure everyone would agree with that, right? Like, you want to get rid of it. But I was ignorant, you know? Like, so, we made a schedule for the therapist, and they took me, you know, to the therapies. she was a nice lady. We did talk about it a lot, and I told her everything that's just happened to me. You know, from my cousin passing to currently with my friend. And it definitely a lot of crying during that hour. Admittedly, I cried a lot, and I think that's what I needed. I just needed to cry and talked about my feelings,
Yeah.
and that was me. I mean, just trying to like come in terms with like what I was feeling. She diagnosed me with general anxiety disorder and mild depression, which they go along with each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time, like like I felt like I was like, what's the good word for it? I was not normal. I guess that would be a good word for it. I wasn't normal, and I told her that.
What do you mean by not normal?
No, because like the whole stigma on mental illness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like like they're crazy, right? And that's
Okay.
that was what was embedded into me, right? Oh, I'm crazy. But then she told me, like it's not like that at all. Like that was me being ignorant. But again, I was young,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when I kind of realized that like I'm actually just as normal as anyone else.
Yeah.
I'm just having my own challenges, and that's okay. I mean that was me coming, like coping with what I have. I still cope with it till this day. Like there's like spikes, of course. I have like spikes of like anxieties and so not as much depression, because during that time when I wanted to like when I had those thoughts, I told myself I promise I won't ever get that low again. That's the only promise I kept to myself till this day. I mean, because like
till today.
I'm sure till today.
Oh
Or
my.
I mean, till this day. I mean, I'm sorry. Till this day. Yeah, because like it's still ongoing, of course. Like
I was
I'm
say,
not...
damn, you're opening up to me.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Yeah, jeez.
Oh man.
Nah, I mean, let's just. I mean, I still struggle with it,
Mm-hmm.
and even after high school, like I've seen like a bunch of like people that I knew, pass on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still dealing with how to cope with people passing away. It doesn't get easier, I'll admit that. Because you think you would get numb to it. That's me being ignorant again, right? You think you get numb to it, but I didn't. It just hurts. It just hurts more. I mean, I just didn't have like a good enough support system. But that's okay. I mean, I can't blame everyone for what's happened to me, right? I just feel like I didn't want to burden someone again, but like this is me going down the same path, right?
Mm-hmm.
The repeating history. But this is when I started talking about like my problems again. I opened the lid up.
Mm-hmm.
And get some clean air in there, let the steam out a little bit.
Yeah. But I'm kind of.
So that's when I realized.
I was just gonna say, I kind of get the sense that You know, you said you were worried about when you open up how it's going to affect other people. So, and then you just said, you know, opening up the lid. So I'm kind of like imagining you're like, you take off the lid and you're like, all right, that's good enough. Put it back on. And then you just kind of move on with your day.
Yeah, that's actually pretty much it, and it's not good. Like, it's not good. But that is something that I do.
Mm.
And it's not that because I want to, it's that like I can't really talk about my feelings sometimes. You know, but that's because you get older, you can't really express yourself enough as much as like I could back then.
Mm. What do you,
But
so,
that's just how I feel though. I mean, like,
well, I'm curious. So you said it was easier to express yourself back then. I kind of want to know what's the difference between expressing yourself then and now. Like, what does that look like?
it's the time, like, you know, like how much time I have. And then I mean that as in like work, you know, like that's all it really is. Just like I can't make time to like go see someone, you know. It's not that I don't want to, it's that like I don't have the time. And I mean, I've seen like apps or, you know, like, you know, I guess like services that offer like online therapies and things like that, and I've actually wanted to do that. I just haven't gotten the time to, you know. That comes down to it, right? The time. I feel like it's just like the nasty part of growing up, you know. It's just that trying to find the time to seek help.
Yeah, because as we're growing up,
Because like
you're sort of figuring out the world. We're doing school. We're trying to make friendships. We're trying new things, and then while that's going on, we're dealing with, you know, emotions, things that we're going through, and, you know, it can get really confusing really fast. So like I get that.
yeah, because it I guess it kind of like these like reoccurring feelings kind of started up when my my cousin, the same family by the way, he passed away. Like, you know, he passed away maybe when I was like a waiter. I was working at a nice little restaurant, and I get a call from my cousin, and she's telling me that, you know, he's passed away. She's crying her heart out, and I had to tell my manager, hey, I gotta go. I have like a family emergency. And I told her the details, and she was like, yeah, you gotta go. And so we're waiting in this house, like, that I don't even know about. Like, it's just where he was staying, and I don't know. It was so weird because, like, I'm literally like maybe 10 meters from his body, and it's just very weird, you know. It's just like, because like he was in a dark place, and the thing is, I had no idea about it. You know, I didn't know he was like, you know, ill or anything like that. It was just out of the blue. But that's the nasty thing about this, you know, mental illness in general, is just like anyone can go through it. You know, just, and that was, yeah, it's just me being ignorant again. You know, I think it comes down to just me being always ignorant to these, you know, oh, this can't happen to anyone or things like that. But it can very much happen to anyone. And he was not the type, like, he didn't seem like the type to be that sad or that down.
You didn't expect it. You know, you looked at him and you thought everything was just a-okay until the day that...
Yeah, because like with him, it was just like he was always the opposite, you know. He never really seem like that, and that's the scary thing about that, right? Like you'd think that like you had to be a certain way to like think about things like that. No, anyone can go through anything like that.
That's right.
Because he was a tough guy. He he just I guess he just I don't know just
Didn't express himself.
yeah. I think that was like it. That was the case. He just didn't express himself because he was just out of jail. I mean, he was like I said, he was a tough guy. But I think his time there probably just hurt him. I don't know. And that hurt that hurt like everyone in the family. We all had to stop what we were doing and say our goodbyes. I mean, that was just one thing after high school. I had a friend. She also passed away. She had a family. I mean, I was fairly close with her. It was unfortunate, you know what I mean? That's how I feel like my life is just kind of like an unfortunate event.
A series of unfortunate events, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's a bad novel if you think about it. But
So what helped you
yeah,
get
I mean,
through? What helped you get through everything?
I would say I definitely, talked with like my family members and friends. And I feel like giving yourself time is a great factor as well. Because everyone wants to get better like immediately.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's impossible. I mean, like you can't just wash away your feelings just like that. I mean, you have to like understand yourself. Like you have to like understand these emotions that you're feeling. And then from there, that's when the healing process starts. Understanding yourself. It could be in a span of a few months to even a year or even longer. It's not going to be immediate, and I feel like a lot of people want to get better right away or quote unquote feel normal, but you can't go back to feeling normal. Like there's no such thing as going back. You have to like understand that the feelings that you're feeling now are who you are. You've always been yourself. It's just add more feelings to it. I guess if that makes sense. Like I don't know, like you're still you. You're just a different version.
Like
If that makes sense.
Yeah, like a more progressed version of yourself, where if you were
Yeah,
dealing
exactly.
with some pain and struggles, and you managed to talk about it and process it and heal through it, you're actually like, if you thought of yourself as a plant, as I usually say, your plant is like maybe an inch taller. You're a little bit better, a little bit
exactly.
stronger, and
You got a little leaf popping out from your right side now. I mean,
it's still
you're
still
growing.
the same plant, but it's just a little bit better.
Bigger, yeah, better.
Yeah, a little bit better and bigger.
Exactly. Then my other friend was she got hurt by her boyfriend, and it led to her passing away. And I think that was the first time I've ever actually felt rage.
Yeah.
Like unblinding rage.
Yeah.
Because to know that actually happened to someone I knew, like, it hurt, it just, like, it was more like, I wish I was there, to stop it or something like that, but
Yeah.
I probably would have been like another victim.
You never know. I can
Yeah,
relate
exactly.
to that because the girl I was dating at the time sent me a text, and granted, you know, she was going to university that was like 3 hours away, but you know, I love this girl to death, and she sends me a text saying that she's at some party and she feels dizzy and that she thinks that they spiked her drink, and you know, I start, you know, freaking out like, oh my god, like what can I do? Can I call the police? And she's not really like coherent enough to really do much or give good directions. She said she was like hiding in a closet so they wouldn't find her, and apparently they were pretty much, yeah, just raping the girls at this party. And this is at a school that every time that there was a story like this, they would sort of sweep it under the rug, and that's what happened to her story too. But I was sitting there, I'm like, okay, so like what can I even do? I don't know where she is. She's like, she can't even send me an address. She said don't call the police. And you know, I felt just powerless, helpless. Like there's nothing I could do about that. It just, you just watch this train wreck happen in slow motion, and I felt really just like you said, just like a blinding rage and just
Blinding rage.
yeah, all kinds of things. Because I'm like, I can't fucking do anything about this, and it's so frustrating. Because and then I have to drive 3 hours to even try and get there, and by then it would be just too late. So I just want to, you know, add on to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's heavy. That's all it really is. It's just heavy,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just that was when I started going through the same process again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I talked about it. You know, I told my mom like, hey, you know, this happened to my friend, all this stuff, because I knew it was like it was gonna bother me. And I mean, they caught the guy, but it was just like I wasn't satisfied, you know, and but I had no choice but to be.
There's
But
nothing
it was
you
just-
could do.
There was nothing I could do. Exactly. It was like bittersweet. Like it was like, yeah, that's great that they got the guy, but my friend's still gone.
Yeah.
So, and I guess to like add salt to the wound, I mean, the child that they had was you know, is orphan now. I mean, not orphan to the degree of like, you know, not without parent. Like the dad's still there. It's just
I mean, like, what even is that?
not gonna be.
A murderer for a
Yeah,
father?
exactly. The murderer.
Yeah.
So, but that's when everything just kind of like started, you know, coming back. You know, my anxiety, and then I wouldn't say depression. I mean, you could say it was depression because I was angry. I still am. I'm still always angry,
Mm.
but I just have a better control of it. You know, just I express myself more because of it, and I think through all the events I've been through, I've been more honest about like what I feel, because I just don't want to feel like that ever again. Going back to, you know, what I promised myself, I don't want to ever go back to feeling like that. And again, I mean, if I do go back to feeling like that, then I know what to do to some degree.
Yeah, you already know how to sort of
Like,
start walking your
handle
way.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, to handle it. Walk the path that gets you out of there.
Yeah, just and I just felt like being more honest to yourself in terms of like your emotions
Mm-hmm.
is important, but it's okay to like going back to like the first question you asked me
Yeah.
about like being truthful to yourself. I feel like lying to yourself is okay as well to some degree,
Like a safety net.
because like I had to like lie to myself, like say, hey, this is good enough, knowing that it probably wasn't good enough that they caught him. I mean, I'm sure he's doing life now, but it's just that I have to tell myself that, right? Like, what else can I do?
Yeah.
Nothing. And I guess I just have to like live with that, and that's all right with me. Well, it has to be all right with me, more like it.
Yeah.
But that was I guess that's just kind of how I deal with like death, really. Just have someone to talk to, whether it's like a support group, like just I don't know, like depending on like where people are from, they might have like a support group that talk about their feelings or experiences they've gone through, or a paid therapist, go to therapy. I did that too. It helped. People might think it doesn't work, but it works for me at least. I'm sure everyone's different.
I'd like to fucking chime in there real quick. Make sure you shop around for a therapist and you really make sure that it's a good fit and that the person is actually invested in you and competent in what they do. The last thing I really want people to experience, as I've heard so many times from so many people I've talked to, is a dispassionate therapist that just wants to get money out of you, private practice, whatever, doesn't really know what they're talking about, and wants to slap a diagnosis on you. That's not helpful.
It's not. No, you have to get someone that actually is invested in helping you. Like, and that can be hard to see, being as you probably will have a hard time opening up at first, but if you do open up, I feel like the therapist will help you a lot more, because at that point they can see what is actually, like, they'll pinpoint what's wrong or try to.
Yeah.
But it's really up to the person, it's just when they want to. But honestly, if you're seeking help right there and then, I think you're on the right track.
Yeah.
Because wanting help and seeking it are a great start, versus saying, "Oh, I'll just get through it," right?
So we had actually talked about what helped you get through everything, but now I'd maybe like to talk about what made things worse. What are the things that you might recommend for people to maybe not do or stay away from?
I would say try not to stay isolated for so long. That is one thing I recommend. Like even if like you go outside, or I wouldn't say go outside, I mean, Corona and such, but open a window, let some light in, talk to friends, even if they're online friends. Online friends are just as good as friends.
Fuck, man, I say that they're better. Like, you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because like I've met my online friends like in real life, and
Yeah.
honestly,
They're
they're of course they're people. Like, who do you think is talking on the other side, right?
Yeah.
I've met like a good few of them, and honestly, they are the best people I've ever met. Though one of them, like, he drives me nuts. Oh, they both do. They drive me insane, but like, cause it's just they send me so many Doge memes or just things like that, But I truly love them. That's one thing I would recommend people. Talk to your friends. Like, let them know what's going on.
And be
Like,
open
even
and
if it's
honest
like
about
little
it.
by little, like tell them, yeah, be honest to your friends. And if they feel like, you know, like, oh, you're becoming a burden to them, I mean, maybe, I guess,
Well, that I mean, yeah, that
because like
goes
I
into
some that because
that
like
go-
you know like that does happen too. I mean, people feel overwhelmed,
yeah.
and
So
that's okay too.
I,
Like,
I I'd want to sort of chime in here real quick. I'm so sorry. It's just it's really important to sort of let people know that so okay, you have your two plants, right? You got to make sure that at all times that you plug up the holes you have in your plant, you know, so things that you're dealing with, you know, problems, emotions, like whatever it may be, because if you're starting to leak out the water and you're running low on water and your plant's starting to wither up, your first thing that you're going to want to do is always get help, get help, get help. But the problem with that is you're going to start taking everybody's water and they're not going to have any left, and then they're going to run into the same problem. So it's okay to reach out for help, but at the same time, you have to help yourself enough so that you aren't hurting your friends.
because that does happen. Like I personally, not with me, but I've heard stories of like people like, you know, feeling overwhelmed,
Mm-hmm.
and that does happen. Because your friends aren't your therapist. You guys got to remember that. But that doesn't, deny you the fact to like express yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you have full right to, talk about your feelings. Like, if something makes you unhappy that your friend's doing, tell them. If something, bothers you that someone else is doing, and let them know. Just be stern. It's
Mhm.
okay.
Communicate.
Another thing, eating right actually does help. Get some nutrients that you do need. Because brain food, right?
Yeah.
You
Brain
gotta keep
health.
yourself, yeah, really, that's all it is. Like eggs. Eggs do help. Don't just solely eat eggs to feel better, because
Yeah, I was gonna say that. They're gonna be like, "Oh shit, get all the eggs, guys."
don't eat all the eggs. Just have a balanced diet, and if you're
Hey.
not able to, just do your best. Do your best to get the nutrients that you need. Vitamins.
Mhm.
Take your Flintstone gummies. That's very important. And
Well, what was your sleep like? Well, you said you had a really hard time sleeping.
I did. Yeah, so I did have insomnia for quite a bit, but once I started talking about my emotions, it got better. So,
There it is. You heard it from the man himself.
yeah, so talking about my feelings right there and then, my insomnia kind of just left. That's not to say that people, don't take pills for that. I mean, I'm sure they have like some other neural problems
Mm-hmm.
that, deprive them of sleep. It's just my problem was my emotions were keeping me awake.
Just like that teapot, and you start bottling things
Yeah.
up, it's gonna come out somehow, somewhere.
Yeah.
Physically, dreams, somewhere. It's gonna come out somewhere.
Yeah, so it was funny though, because after I talked to my therapist for the first time, I passed out in my car
Oh
from
shit.
exhaustion.
Damn.
Oh, my mom's car. Yeah, I was out for like the whole day, because it was the therapy was like 2 p.m. to like
Mhm.
3 roughly, And from there, I woke up like at 6 a.m.
Holy shit. Did they like
Yeah,
move
so,
you to a bed,
it-
or were you just sitting in the car the whole time? You're just like,
No, okay, so obviously I woke up, periods. Like, they were like, hey, we're home. I was like, okay. So, still in my school, school wear. I laid on my bed and just out.
face first.
Yeah, I was just out. Like, it was just. Like, that was like the first time I ever, like, felt at ease,
Yeah.
Like,
Letting
for
the
a good while,
2,000
too.
pound weight off.
Yeah, it was just like everything was just off me, and I was like, I was super happy that like I was able to like get any form of sleep, and I'm sure like my brain was just like finally able to relax,
Yeah.
because that was the worst I've ever been. But yeah, but going back to the whole what not to do. Oh, I think there is one more thing that I need to add to that. Hygiene.
Oh,
Hygiene.
Ooh.
Hygiene. Like, if it's something like simple, like cleaning your room, cleaning yourself, fixing your bed, you'll feel accomplished. Like, even if it's something small, I feel like you'll feel better. Like, hey, I did this. Like, I did this. Not anyone else, but me. And I feel like any win like that would help anyone. I mean, it helps me even now. I mean, I feel good when I like clean my, myself up, because like I look rough sometimes, and I just kind of want to shave. I'm just like, I want to shave or I want to trim. I trim up, I look good. I'm just like, wow. It's just that confidence that I feel, and I feel like anyone would feel that way. So I think it's important to like keep yourself clean, whether it's for like silly reasons like like confidence, which isn't silly, more just to like clean your room, and for the sake of it, just stop you from smelling bad.
In before Jordan Peterson comments, clean your room.
Yeah. So I mean, that's my 2 cents on that one.
Oh, that was fucking more than well said. That was fucking beautifully said. Even more than that. I really appreciate you for sharing that and giving so much detail and insight on it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hope it helps someone to let them know that they're not by themselves.
Yeah.
I guess my advice to people, if they care to watch me talk about, or if they even got to the end of this, I would say it's okay to take your time. Like, it's not a race. That'll always be my advice to everyone. It's not a race. Take your time. Don't stress out over it. You'll get to where you'll be, or where you will be, where you want to be.
Gotta put in that work.
That's pretty much it.
Getting into the questions.
I mean, I'm still dealing with the whole death thing, of course, even now. Like, but this one's severely different because it involves my nephew, and he's a sick boy. And I don't know, like, it was just I didn't expect to like have like a member like so close to me, like have like he has a genetic disease. It's a trisomy 18, which I might have said it wrong, I might have said it right, but pretty much it's a genetic disorder. And typically for newborns, they don't live past a year.
Oh.
and he just happened to be diagnosed with it, right? So I mean, even now, like I still deal with it. I still deal with like potential people, potential passings. I think what's different about this is that he's so young and he hasn't really, experienced much. Like he's past the year full, the year line. So it's just scary for me to just, just wait. I guess that's what it is, just waiting, and it just hurts. And that's probably another reason why I'm so angry. But it's not for me. I'm not angry at myself in this case. I'm angry for him, just to be given such a bad hand. That's
Going back to, like you said before, nothing that you can do about it.
yeah. There's nothing I can do about it. And I guess that's what infuriates me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't blame my sister, of course, because like we did have this conversation, and this is going into like pro life and pro choice things like that. Because I personally am, I'm very in between. Yeah, because like I
It's
understand when
not
you
black and
want to
white.
keep a child. Exactly, it's not black and white. Like I understand it's a lady's body, and they have a choice, but that's a whole different discussion.
Hmm.
But I did ask her, like, why didn't she just get an abortion? Because they tell you beforehand if this child is gonna be well or not, and she was fully aware that this child wasn't. But I told her, why don't you just get the abortion, and just spare the child. That was my mentality. And then she told me I just wanted to see him. And I didn't really understand at the time. That was me being ignorant. She just, I don't know. I mean, I guess I just fell in love with the kid too. I mean, and that's bound to happen. Like he's my nephew, and obviously I love my nephews. That's when like my thought process kind of like, because like I was like pro-choice, but then I got a better understanding of what my sister went through and what she was feeling. It's like, oh, she wants to like give this child a chance, or whatever chance he may have, and so that's why I kind of like went towards the middle.
Mm.
And I mean, I guess I think the most painful part about this is just I'm waiting.
You just ready
That's
for
what it is right now. It's just me waiting.
ready for it to be over.
Because like it will happen, but when is the question.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out how to deal with this myself. I mean, like it's not easy. I will say that.
No, definitely
But
not. Whenever
I've
you whenever you add uncertainty to the equation, it's kind of like nitro for your anxiety. Just
yeah, exactly. But when I mean I enjoy the time I have with them
Mhm.
because that's all I can do. And I've been told that by like friends as well because I told them about my situation. And I tell them that I'm angry too.
Mm.
And they say it's okay to be angry, but you just can't hold on to that for too long.
Yeah.
And they're right to say that because I I said some on. I said some stuff to like this one girl that I really care about,
Mm.
and I mean I patched it up with her, but we just didn't talk for like a good bit, and that was, emotionally speaking, it was painful because I care about this girl.
So by holding on to the anger of
I hurt her.
the child not, you know, having his life cut short, you carried that over to her, and
Yeah, and she was just in the area. I mean, obviously I didn't like physically hurt her.
well, yeah, I mean,
I just said some stuff. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, I was just like, oh wait, before anyone actually starts thinking, oh no, I'm strictly against that. I swear, highly. I actually condemned anyone hurting anything, unless it's like, you know, for sport or hunting. But that's different conversation, because hunting is important,
Mhm.
or agriculture, whatever you want to do, or, you know, either way. Going going to her. I was I was just so ashamed of myself, you know.
Yeah.
But I did patch it up with her recently, and she did bring up the fact that what if you get mad at me again? And I was like I told her I'm so sorry. I don't want to. I told her I don't ever want to do that again, and probably the cheesiest thing I could say, or anyone can say, like, "Oh, I swear I won't do it again," but I truly meant it. No, that anger, that's when I realized that it's not something I want to hold on to.
Yeah.
I mean, I have every right to be upset for him,
Mhm.
but at the same time, it's not good for me either.
And sounds like it's hard
So.
because you ended up taking it out on other people and then feeling regret about it.
Yeah, it was immediate regret. It was just like, God, what did I do?
Mhm.
To any of my fellas watching this, and I actually had an argument with a girl, talk to her first. Don't wait. That's what I did. I waited, and I decided to, you know, talk to her first. That's just swallow your pride. Just that's all I can say. Swallow your pride. It's better to be happy, or at least content with what you get in response.
It's definitely a lot of emphasis on gratitude. And your time, and the people you're with, and the people you have, and the things you have. Because you never know when it's going to disappear one day. To leave.
Yeah. With all of your experience with mental health,
Mm-hmm.
when did you decide that VRChat's probably the best place to, like, you know, with deciding? I guess I had it. Okay, so VRChat. Why did you decide VRChat versus, like, you know, some other format?
Well, you know, I've taken a look around. You know, it's honestly, the inner child in me wants to save the world, so I go as big as I possibly can imagine. I look at everything. I look at trends. I look at videos. I think of my past experiences. I look at what's popular. I look at, you know, what's succeeding. And I looked at all of that through that lens, but for mental health. And I'm like, okay, so what is the best way of spreading a message? Social media, hands down, millions, if not billions, can see a video at a time. There's nothing that possibly can compete with that. You do want to have a message sent in each source of society, but I was like, I gotta go for that one because that's my best shot at sort of getting these messages and people's stories out to the world. So that was part one. Part two was, okay, So I see the formal format of like colleges and lectures and webinars, and man, people who are even in education be falling asleep to that shit. So I was just like, all right, probably not gonna really be good in that avenue. Then I looked at, like Discord and doing the face-to-face well, not face-to-face, but like, webcam interviews. And I was like, okay, this is getting better. You get to see their reactions. But another thing I noticed with like a Healthy Gamer, for example, on Twitch is people are not necessarily sharing everything that's actually going on. I'm a master of detecting deception, and I'm like, dude, they are fucking lying out of their ass right now. Like, you're not gonna hear what's actually going on, and honesty is what helps people. So I was like, okay, so now we have a problem that we got to solve. Like, what do we do, and what's also popular at the same time? VRChat. You got, nice anime characters, beautiful worlds. You get to move around as if you were in person, and it can also be recorded and go, put it up on YouTube for everyone to see. So out of every avenue that I possibly looked at, I was like, well, let's give this a shot, because I noticed that people will say everything that their mind and heart has to offer on here versus like a Discord, cam interview, basically. So that's why I decided to start doing this.
You said, you're doing this to help you become a counselor, right? Or of some sort?
That's a byproduct. I'm doing this to help our people in the world. The vision is,
okay,
by leading people out of their emotional turmoil, we can lead humanity out of the emotional dark ages.
Okay.
And then the mission is, sort of helping people talk through the issues. Because, like, none of what we've done here today, you consider it therapy. Is coaching at most, but we're just sort of talking about it, right? But
yeah, of course, yeah. This is all just to like help people get a perspective that they're not by themselves,
yeah.
and to like see what other people are doing versus what they're doing, and maybe from there they can find some like pathway into like seeking help, or even be coping with what they're going through.
Yeah, awareness is damn near half the battle, because if you're in the dark, you aren't even aware of what you're doing, how it's affecting you, where it's leading your life to eventually be derailing or falling off a cliff or even passing.
I guess like my 2 cents on like life is just that it's gray. That's really it.
Oh yeah, that's
right. I guess that's like yeah, because like you asked me like, I think you asked me like, I guess it comes down to being truthful to yourself again. Just know that life isn't black and white. Like, it's okay in some degrees to do bad things for the sake of being the good guy or doing something good.
When I say Zangief, you are bad guy, but this does not mean you're bad guy.
You have the ability to find the exception, be able to navigate in between the two. We'll wait for you to make a shot. Yeah, I'll get a shot.
Wait for me to make a shot.
Holy shit, dude! Where'd it go?
Oh no!
Uh-oh. Okay. Back in. Oh. Ah!
Okay.
There it is.